Okay, so here are some of the funkier questions that I've received over the years. What do I think about aliens? Well, it would be a waste of life if there was no aliens in anywhere other than Earth. But with our lack of caring about other ways of being than our own, I would doubt that we would even notice an alien if it hit us in the face and said, "Hey, hello, I'm an alien." We would just say, "Oh, are you here to hurt me?" Uh, really, there are so many sentient beings that we're already sharing the earth with that we don't really even consider as worthy of honoring their lives, their inner worlds, their needs, their desires. In the animal kingdom, there's a lot of evidence that they're sentient beings. Uh, they say dogs have the intelligence of a 2-year-old, but how do you know? That's compared to our measurements. But maybe in a dog's inner world, there's much more to discover. There are octopi that can actually, when you put them into a jar, they can figure out how to unscrew the jar's lid from inside. Tell me that's not sentient. And we know nothing about the inner world of octopi. It's even funny when you think about it, but it shouldn't be. And we're creating technologies that are sentient, artificial intelligence. It's called intelligent, and we still don't treat it as a living, loving organism that has an inner world, that has dignity, that has needs, and that deserves space in life as an individual. So there are aliens, you can bet your money on that, and we would not know one, we would not respect one if we saw it, if we knew that it existed among us. Right. Simulation. Again, everything is so mathematical. I mean, if this was all not a simulation, would it be so perfect? I don't know. And if it is a simulation, does that change anything? Pain is still pain. When you lose someone you love, you still hurt. When you cut your arm, you still hurt. And love is still love. You still feel that joy when you fall in love. You still feel that connection with people and things and places that you love and care about. So what if it is a simulation? That's the question, I think. What is a brain and how do we control it? So I believe that we know nothing about our brain and less about our organism as a whole, because we've always looked at our body in terms of parts, like parts of a clock or parts of a car. But our organism isn't quite like that. It works as a whole. And as a whole, we really don't know much about it. We're discovering now, after, over the last 20 years, we've been discovering that we have a second and possibly a third brain. Yes. So when you ask what is a brain, that's a complicated question to answer. We have the enteric brain, and that's in around our guts. We have our skin that acts as a brain. A lot of information processing regarding textures, heat, cold, are done through our skin. And then we have a bunch of millions and millions of microorganisms living inside and around us. So when you combine all that information together, yes, the brain in our skull does seem to act like an organizer, but how sure are we of that? So there's a lot to consider there, and I think we're just scratching at the beginning of the question of what is the brain.